And welcome back to another episode of The Credit Authority. Once again, I am your host, Rhonda Kulch, and I am so glad that you joined us today. I always want to start our segment by thanking our sponsors. So thank you so much to Equity First. If you are experiencing credit and or financial challenges, feel free to reach out to any one of their trained professionals. They are bilingual, nationwide, and they are looking forward to taking your call. They could be reached at 631-714-4822. And with us today, we have an amazing guest because we've been bringing on women that support other women. And most importantly, we are bringing on women that are participating in the International Women of Influence Conference, scheduled for Saturday, March 11th at Hofstra University. So with us right now is Karen Dunkley. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Happy Women's History Month to everyone. And women's history is human history. Women, as we know, Rhonda, they've played such an instrumental role in the world. So thank you for having me, and really excited to be a part of the conference.
So, we have been speaking to a few of the other women, and what I would like to know is when Dr. Neva reached out to you, what was that like?
At first, I was really so honored and humbled and excited because we always want to walk in sisterhood with other women. I think any opportunity that we can get to network with each other, that we can get to exchange experiences, that we can get to empower and educate and uplift each other really matters. And I am just so fortunate. And let me just say shout out to Dr. Neva. She is indeed just this amazing human being, an amazing woman. And we intend to create a sister circle that really allows each woman to thrive and grow.
I was speaking to one of the other panelists that are participating in the conference. And one of the things that we've identified is that oftentimes women go to these events because they're looking for the empowerment, and we grow through storytelling and by meeting other people. But where we fall short is that when the conference is over, we go back into our daily routine and we don't do the follow-up. What kind of a message do you have for not just the women that would attend, but other women that are looking for direction?
I think that we have three messages, right? So the first is certainly collaboration and connection. So how we connect with each other and how we sustain those connections, really important, just to your point, that we don't go back to the same old, and that we're able to not just scale the network, but we're able to leverage the network. We're able to build and grow. And because people are so busy, Rhonda, sometimes it just requires informal structures to keep us connected, whether it's an email listserv, a text messaging group. If someone is having an event, that we give our platforms to be used. And that, I think, is going to be different for me. I know that typically when we've done women conferences, and this one is no different, we build that sister circle and we say, tell us how you want us to stay in touch. How do you want us to stay in touch and support you? And we intend to carry that promise in practice over to this conference. So I think connections really big, sustaining the connections even bigger, and scaling those connections so we don't just sit in our own corners. If you look at the women's list, you will see that her speakers are so diverse. They carry so much wealth of experiences, of stories of knowledge. And our goal is to meet our sisters where they are and partner with them and engage in this collaborative space, but brave space.
Now, I know that you obviously are participating in the conference. What message are you looking to share with the attendees?
My message is simple. I think that women are in a pivotal moment in history. Despite we have seen like the economic gains and the social gains, a piece that we always think about is our resiliency, especially as it comes now we're emerging from the COVID-19 pandemic. If you look just at the data, we saw that many women have had to leave the workforce, have had to figure out innovative ways to balance family demands, and not just children. Women happen to be the caretakers in their families and the caregivers, so also for their parents themselves or for aging I would say, relatives, right? So not only parents, you might have to take care of an aunt or an uncle. So my message is simple, is overcoming adversity. And that adversity could be personal, professional, emotional, social, and what tools we need to have in the toolbox to build a reservoir of resiliency. Because one of the mistakes we often make as women is we think we have to always present a facade of strength. And sometimes being strong is saying that I need assistance. Being strong is being able to reach out to others to get some resources and some tools. And so that is the message, is that we are resilient, but a part of my strength, a part of my resiliency is being vulnerable and leaning on my sisters and giving of my best self to make sure that I can live this really magnificent life and an empowered version of myself. And I think that especially emerging from the pandemic, where we have had to tend to our mental health needs, our social, emotional needs, is important. It's like I always say on the airplane, they say, put on your oxygen mask first. And sometimes as women, we neglect this. And that message at the conference is simple. We're overcoming adversity through building, replenishing our storehouse so that we can give to ourselves and also to others.
And, one of the things I'm listening to is it's so important that, not just as women, but as a community, I say it like that we are surrounding ourselves with other people that can lift us up and become our support when we need to ask for help. Yes. Who do you think has been your best champion cheerleader? Who are your power partners in your business?
I love it. So first of all, I think my mom, Barbara Dunkley, just because my mom and my sister are the first women who have really taught me how to interact with women and how to support women. And my family, my cousins, my cousin Carlene is like one of my best cousins, right? And then in terms of just my peers, I've had a really great mentors and professional moms. Dr. Arlene C. Ackerman, who was my professor of practice at Columbia University and then took me to Philadelphia when she became superintendent. Dr. Penny Nixon, Nakinja Gilliam. I taught at Elmont Memorial High School for many years, and Nakinja Gilliam, who was Teacher of the Year, actually served as a great sister friend to me my first year teaching high school, and then through my tenureship at Elmont Memorial High School. In terms of business, I've had great partners, Beverly Nichols, a diverse group of women, Michelle Rocca, who really continue, a counselor I met in Philadelphia, to support me and support the role. So I cannot begin to tell you, when I think of a Beverly Nichols who has done extremely well, a very successful entrepreneur, when I think of my professional moms, Dr. Ackerman, Dr. Nixon, Nakinja Gilliam, I'm only able to stand on their shoulders. My first principal for elementary was a lady named Dr. Renee Young. She is the truth. She is simply phenomenal. Helena Bentoncourt, she's my Colombian sister from another mother. So these are the kinds of women that I've had in my circle, who have been my critical friends, who have able to lift me up outside of my family. And my business has only done well. I have a great colleague from Columbia University, Dr. Monica George Fields, who also started her consulting company and brought me in also as a subcontractor for much of the work that she gets, even though I also had my consultant. So I'm always grateful. I stand in gratitude and I stand in community with these diverse group of sisters. And I am thankful that sometimes in America, where we tend only to speak to people who look like us and interact with communities that look like us, I've benefited from a very diverse community comprised of all kinds of women across all races, ethnicities, and socioeconomic backgrounds. And that is why I am who I am and why I'm able to spread this message and be where I am today. I stand in gratitude.
I love it. You are speaking and I'm so empowered. I have goosebumps. So kudos to you, because that doesn't happen often. I think that when, as a group of women, we have the ability to meet other inspiring women that have stories to tell and they have information to share, together we become stronger and together we can prosper. So I am absolutely looking forward to meeting you. Again, for those of you that are listening, we are speaking right now with Karen Dunkley. She will be at the International Women's Conference, Women of Influence, on Saturday, March 11th at Hofstra University. Once again, I am so excited that you were able to join us today. And with that said, stay tuned. We have a quick commercial break.
Thank you for having me.